Welcome everyone to another top 10. I'm Old School Gamer 1971. Millie, Lloyd, everyone, hope you're all having a great day. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please like, comment and share. Check out my channel and subscribe, as it helps the channel grow and puts a big old smile on this old face. Today's top 10 is stealth games. To me, it began with Metal Gear Solid that brought stealth games to the mainstream. Yes, they've advanced and surpassed the original Metal Gear Solid. A lot of games across the last two generations have added the stealth feather to their hat. Far Cry New Dawn is a real good example of this. I do believe Metal Gear will never really work without Hideo Kojima. The stealth games often have you thinking outside the box, laying traps both physically and of the humankind. Learning the patrol patterns, knowing your equipment and your own physical limitations is all commonplace, even when it comes to the multiplayer stealth games, many of which are great and a lot of fun, and communication is paramount to your team's success. With a steady stream of games, Days Gone, stealth in this game is necessary. Far Cry New Dawn, yes, this is a choice, but I did find it the right choice. A Plague's Tale: Innocence, out earlier this year. Sniper Elite V2 is Sniper Elite 2 remastered, based in World War II in Berlin. Death Stranding, no guarantee that this will be a stealth game, but I think it will be. And The Last of Us Part 2, stealth will be a big part of this game, all since the start of this year and going into early next year. However, I do not feel that it's a swamped genre, but does show a lot of originality. It was only when I realised how easy it was to put a top 10 and 2 honorary mentions together did I finally have to admit to myself that this is one of my favourite genres. My number 10, A Way Out, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Hazelight Studios. This is one hell of a game, a real surprise, and I would say a pretty good introduction into the genre. You play as one of two imprisoned convicts, either Leo Caruso or Vincent Moretta, with a seemingly common enemy, a crime boss called Harvey, who hatch a plan to escape and kill him, to exact their revenge. It's a fun little short cooperative jaunt, and one that can only be played in cooperative, either couch co-op or online with a friend. It has sneaking, cooperative actions, fun little mini games and shooting sections towards the end. Yet to me, it's the sneaking sections that really shine here when you're helping each other out to advance. It does have a bittersweet ending. In a way, I feel I'm doing the game an injustice, as this shows a lot of originality when compared to other games in the genre and even other games on this list. I still enjoy playing this, and you should know that you can play this co-op online with two PlayStations, but with only one of you owning the game. So great value too, and released by, get this, EA. So they're not the spawn of Satan all of the time, only 99% of the time. Number 9, Little Nightmares, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2017 and was developed by Tarsier Studios. And so we go from a narrative strong stealth game to a platform adventure stealth game. This game is great. It looks like it should be a walk in the park, and yet 5 minutes with this game tells you what the game is all about. You play as a childlike creature named Six, who is trying to escape the maw that is beset with creatures before Six is eaten. It strikes me how involved you feel with this game. You feel your mistakes, and it does drive you to get better at the game. As the enemies are bigger and slower most of the time, you must learn their movements and their patterns so you can pass them by. The further you get into this game, the better it gets, and certainly has more than its own fair share of head-scratching moments. Its graphical style is very distinctive, and will admit to liking this game big time. Again, this is pretty much a stealth game all to its own and probably does deserve a lot higher spot on this list. Moving on to number 8, Dishonored Remastered. Came to the PlayStation 3 in 2012, PlayStation 4 in 2015 and was developed by Arcane Studios. Whilst this is more of a traditional stealth game, you can still play it in a non-violent capacitor and also an ultra-violent capacitor, depending upon your playing style. Again, this is a very stylish game. It has a very distinctive style that could be called Marmite. You will either love it or loathe it. I love it. You play as Corvo Atono, a bodyguard to the Empress of the Isles. It's the first game on this list with multiple weapons and gadgets. I love this on PlayStation 3 and more so on PlayStation 4. It starts off with an assassination at the beginning. You're charged the Empress of the Isles that you are framed for. Her daughter is abducted and you're the scapegoat for all of it. They're going to execute you, so you must escape to clear your name, find out who is really behind all of this and what happened to the daughter. Again, another quality game and certainly one hell of a stealth game. Worthy of note is the more violent you get, the more violent the game gets towards you. With 2 sequels under its belt, I hope there is a third numbered entry into the franchise. My number 7, Batman Arkham Asylum, came to the PlayStation 3 in 2009, PlayStation 4 in 2016 and was developed by Rocksteady Studios. Now I'm pretty sure that 50% of you are scratching your heads and the other 50% of you are sort of grinning from ear to ear. This can be played as a brawler, but it can also be played as a stealth game. With the amount of gadgets that can be used to great effect, it's so much fun working out how to do it all unseen, picking them off one by one. Batman is taking the Joker back to Arkham. When are we going to get a Batman movie that's about Arkham Asylum? Except it's all one big ruse, with the inmates all wanting a piece of Batman. It's moving in the shadows, hiding in the rafters, taking down enemies and getting away unseen. It's all helped out with a fantastic map, well designed characters and gadgets that have the Batman flavour to them. If you have never played the game like it, play what you can as a stealth game. It changes everything and certainly leaves you scratching your head, especially when it comes to those challenges you need for the platinum. Number 6, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2015 and was developed by Kojima Productions. This is a stealth game, but also a shooter at the same time. I would say it's a little harder in stealth game, however. The previous entries were more stealth than action, yet still I'm drawn to playing as much as possible a stealth game. Snake will always be stealth to me. As I said earlier, he was my introduction into the stealth genre. And to me, this is the last Snake game, unless Kojima is involved. The story for this game is a little complicated as hell in fact. But, spoilers, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You do not play as Snake, but as someone who has had plastic surgery to look exactly like Snake. Snake was actually lying in the bed next to you the whole time. And we are back. Playing as Stealth Snake is my last homage, and whilst it makes progress in the game rather slow, it is not impossible. On a side note, I cannot wait for Death Stranding, as I feel that in part it will be the game that Metal Gear Solid 5 was always destined to be. My number 5, Manhunt, came to the PlayStation 2 in 2003, PlayStation 3 in 2013 and PlayStation 4 in 2016 and was developed by Rockstar. So we have a controversial entry, and once again at this time there is people trying to tie in video game violence to real world actions. The fact there has been over 1,000 of these studies worldwide and never once has anything been proved. This game came under scrutiny years ago and led to a much stronger emphasis on game classification, even though it was proved that all the allegations was false. To my total surprise, twice over, this got a re-release for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, and whilst I will admit it was one violent video game, the stealth mechanic is fantastic with or without the violence. You play as Cash, a convicted serial killer, and it begins with your execution. You awaken to be told that you're to be given another chance, and someone wants you to make a real life snuff movie with you as the main attraction. The story is very twisted. It looks and sounds like a 1980s trashy horror movie, which I do love to watch. Eventually you do get guns, but the stealth is really great here. Tension is built going from shadow to shadow, taking down cutthroat gangs that will kill you as quick as you would kill them. You are outnumbered and under-equipped, scavenging weapons, while the shadows are your only real friend. P.S. The soundtrack sounds like it's been pulled right out of a John Carpenter movie, which is just great. Moving on to number 4, Hitman, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2016 and was developed by IO Interactive. Never having been a fan before its PlayStation 4 outing, I think too many people kept telling me how much I would like it. Shout out to Dan Deepin, he was damn good at this game, as was Shane Herbert. And in a way he was kind of right. But when I tried the episodic PlayStation 4 outing, I finally connected with the franchise. With so much equipment to unlock and so many ways to take out a target, and funnily enough, that is how you unlock that lovely equipment. Loads of missions with variety, costumes to find, that can give you access to new areas and different ways to kill. It's the kind of game that gets you thinking, even when you are not playing, about the how and the where. This is what a stealth game should be. You play as Agent 47 who is trying to prove himself to new employers, even as his psych evaluation comes back with warnings of his instability. There is a sequel on the PlayStation 4 is also worthy of a mention, but if you're looking for a pure stealth game, you could do a lot worse than getting this game. Download the demo and try it out. My number 3, Sniper Elite 4, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2017 and was developed by Rebellion. So this is free right now on PlayStation Plus. This could have been the third entry, but this is harder and looks better. Set during World War II in Italy. What it has is a fantastic stealth mechanic. You can try and run and gun, but this will not get you very far. However, strategy in both single player and co-op will get you a damn sight further, and running to resurrect your partner, hoping that you don't fall to the enemy, gets that blood pumping. In single player you really have to stealth it up. Sometimes you have to wait to see the patrol patterns. Yes, you can shoot from distance and draw them in, but if you want to remain hidden, it's all in the patience game. Finding the weapons and loadout to complement you and or team. Once you get it down, it's fantastic. Some of those shots are awesome, and certainly I leave that switch on. Anyone up for a game? Moving on to my penultimate entry, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018 and was developed by Ubisoft. And so we move on to the latest entry into the Assassin's Creed franchise. This is a stealth game with a difference, a big difference. when compared to previous entries anyway. You often find yourself outnumbered and outgunned, well, outbowed anyway. So you have to strategise and be stealthy. With such a large map and lots of enemies therein, based in Greece in 431 BC, you play as a brother Alexius or sister Cassandra on an adventure. But playing smart will get you further, and there is a real grind to this game. It's only when you start to be more aware does success come, but you must also understand your limitations. When you circumnavigate an enemy, when it's time to fight, and when it's time to get the hell out of there. My flatmate is master of this game, and I know how rewarding it can be. I just hope this is the blueprint for all future Assassin's Creed releases. PS, equipment and steed are also amazing. Look at it, it's jaw dropping. And my number one, Alien Isolation, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2014 and was developed by Creative Assembly. Now I know for some this is a free-for-all, but for us mere mortals, this is a stealth game, and a damn fine one at that. You play as Amanda Ripley, who is looking for her mother who went missing, Ellen Ripley. The game is set after Alien and before Aliens. The game sure as hell gets your blood racing. The alien really feels like it's hunting you, with not a lot for us mere mortals to defend ourselves with. It's about moving from hiding place to hiding place. Nowhere feels safe. The vents are a death trap. Even lockers are no guarantee. And under the table, nah. Released in 1979 movie-wise, a whole 2 years after Star Wars, this looks authentic when compared to the movie. It really helps draw you into the game. The alien soon has us mere mortals respecting it. Hearing that bleep from the tracker, to me, this game makes me get stealthy. Any game that makes me stumble and feel like an 8-year-old, and for anyone looking for a challenge, it doesn't get any bigger nor better than this game. And it's done. I hope you all enjoyed this top 10. There is plenty more content like this on my channel. Check it out, and if you would, spread the word. Enjoy your day, one and all. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.